What's up, y'all? I'm Doug the Plug, and I just jumped off the porch with Dirty Good Bastard. Let's go!
Hey.
All white bricks, white tan bricks, just hit a lick.
All right. We got my boy Doug the Plug jumping off the porch with us today.
Right.
Or should we go ahead and give you the formal name? What's the real name you want people to know you by the professional
The
name?
real name is Douglas Parson. Everybody know me as I Am Real Estate One. So also Doug the Plug. So just whatever you would like to call me, but I want to definitely get right into it.
For sure, man. It's a pleasure to have you on the porch with us today, man.
Right. Pleasure to be here.
For sure.
Yeah.
You're looking like it for sure, man.
Man, I'm trying to look like it, you know what I'm saying? Presentation and all that, preparation is the best thing, to win, so.
You already know.
Right.
What can you tell me about Atlanta today versus how it was when you first got here?
Okay, and I guess when I first got here, it was the place to be, but it was like when I first got into real estate here, if we're talking about the real estate aspect, everybody was doing real traditional things, and I always was a non-traditional person, just even far as like a lot of the agents that I was dealing with, they was wearing suits and stuff like that, where I did it, but I always felt like I was out of my character. So nowadays, I will say this, I kind of changed the culture in real estate. I kind of made it cool to be cool and sell real estate, and you didn't have to be all stuffy. So it's changed to, it's a cool thing to do, where before you was kind of stuffy, corporate, so yeah, I definitely would say I helped change that.
For sure.
In Atlanta, yeah.
How would you say you shift that? Like, what's more so, it's more about than putting this shit on, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But how would you say you set the tone in them type of rooms, you know what I mean?
It was kind of easy to set the tone, because a lot of the guys, they were so square. So when I start, and everybody don't like designer, but I like designer. So when I start coming through and I had designer on and I was looking good, and also I wish y'all could smell me right now. I'm smelling good too. And it's kind of just like a thing, perception goes so far. I get a lot of deals just from how I'm perceived. So I continue to do that. I'm not trying to do it. It's just me. So I've been like that a long time.
Real spill.
Right.
So how would you describe your come up in Indianapolis?
Indianapolis. Okay, so just first thing I want to say is I still love Indianapolis. I'm from there, my family there. I come up from humble beginnings. I wouldn't say we was even middle class, but I couldn't tell. Like, we always ate good. My mother made sure we had good things. But, once I got probably I might have been in the 7th grade, I start seeing guys that were selling bricks running around. They had nice cars, jewelry, and all that stuff. And it was kind of like at that point when I wanted to start getting money. So, my whole thing, even with the title of my book, Flipping Bricks, is just like, I used to flip bricks. It's been a while. I retired in '96, but, the come up was through bricks. You know what I'm saying? In 1996, I left to get my life together, so that's when the real world started. Before that, it was just flipping bricks and murders and money, a lot of money in bags, a lot of bricks in bags, a lot of death. So, I just in '96, I decided to change my life. That was the real come up. But, I kind of came up through what I was doing back then, even though it wasn't right. I came up like that.
Right.
So, yeah.
Well, I ain't gonna hold you. A wise man once told me, nobody get rich by following rules.
Right. So I'm trying to help these young guys. I'm gonna try to help them do the crossover. So
Real spill.
Yeah.
So let's take it back even further. So 7th grade,
Yeah.
you realized you were kind of suffering. You were in poverty.
Right.
So when would you say exactly you jumped off the porch?
I will say I jumped off the porch probably in the 8th grade. I jumped off the porch. Me and a couple of my other buddies, but specifically when I jumped off the porch, it was a guy who, this is so crazy, but the guy actually gave me the wrong things, gave me the people to buy the wrong things, gave me my pager. We was on pagers back then. And it's like, I can just remember nights where I had to go to school in the morning, I had a pager, and I would always put my pager under my bed with the vibrator so it'll wake me up, in the middle of the night. And I literally, and this is my hand to God, I would jump out the window and go meet these people and sell them what they needed, get my money, climb back up in the house, and go to school the next day. And I mean, I was super young. You know what I'm saying? I can still remember, fast forward to high school, I remember like we used to have, our cars was so nice, the teachers used to be hating. They banned us from parking on the school parking lot and everything.
Damn.
It was crazy, but we was doing too much. We was in the loud music back then, so I would pull up and, man, shake the whole side of the school back then. So I was doing too much, yeah.
At what point would you say the fast life started catching up to you? Or in the better ways, when would you say?
No, that's a great question. The fast life started catching up with me in 95, 96. It was tons of murders. They was killing people. And this ain't funny, but sprinkling a little dope on it, burning them up. It was, the murders was dope related, so they didn't really, you know what I'm saying, investigate them and stuff like that. But when that murder started happening, things like that, I started thinking about where could I go, like where I got family, where could I go, because I was super heavy in the game, and everybody, like it was people around me dying, it was people around me getting killed, and so the police was heavy. I can remember one day I was at the movies, and I used to be on a block called Euclid, so I can remember somebody calling me from the block like, hey, the folks just came down here and they was in, what do you call those army vehicles? Tanks.
Them tanks.
They was in tanks and all this. I was like, did anybody get caught with something? No, but they came. That was another thing, like I was like, and it was like at one point on Euclid, like all the police knew who we was, and they would come through and say little stuff, and so it was like we was beefing with the police. But like I said, around that time, it was like a certain incident happened. It was serious. I won't even go into it, but I came out unscathed. And I can remember coming home one night to Real Estate Blondie, and I was like, you know what, like, it's time to go. I got family out of town. I'm just ready to go. I was like, and then I said I was ready to go, but she was like, you're not leaving me here. So she came with me, and, we lived in Kentucky for a while. She graduated from school there. She's actually got her doctorate degree. God bless me with her. That's a lot coming from a hustler. And, we kind of changed our lives. 96, we left. We was out of there. Bigger and better things.
That's real.
Yeah.
So how would you say you found real estate?
I'm gonna tell you exactly how I found real estate now. I bought my first house knowing I was in the streets, so I was getting plenty of money. I bought my first house, I might have been 18. Plushed it out. Marble rooms with the hot tubs back then, TVs in the wall way back then. I'm in my 40s now. You know what I'm saying? And that was the start of it. Then when we moved to Kentucky, I started flipping homes and renting them out. How old was I, 22 then? Something like that. And then when we decided after she graduated, and I had a successful commercial cleaning business at the time, we was doing stuff like PetSmarts and Best Buys, different things like that. So I was getting a lot of money doing that too. The hustle just changed a little bit.
More legit.
Yeah, more legit. Plenty of money, and I ain't had to do nothing but send out invoices and pay people. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, when she graduated, I was like, we got to get out of here because it's dead as hell. It's nothing to do at all. So I had some cousins down here in Atlanta. Coach K, he was here in Atlanta. He wasn't famous yet, but he was here. So we decided to look for something in Atlanta. And when we looked for something in Atlanta, we was looking to buy something in Atlanta. And so we looked in a little magazine that had houses back then. And we seen an African-American young lady, and her name is Elizabeth Johnson. She took us to look for houses. We looking for houses. So then she was like, well, y'all wanted to go past my house and see my house? We was like, sure. Well, when we pulled up to her house, it was over there off of near Camp Creek, right? Way back then. She had a huge red brick mansion sitting at the top of a hill. I went in the house, she had the swirl stairs, the pool, the movie theater, all of that. And it was like, wow, I'd never seen that before in Indianapolis where I'm from, unless she was doing something wrong. Well, she was doing something right. And so we started we formed a relationship, and she ended up telling me if I ever wanted to get into real estate, call her, go to this school. So I had a recording studio here in Atlanta, in Riverdale, the Dirty Dale. I also had a clothing store, in the heart of Riverdale. So at one point I was sitting in that clothing store, and I can still remember what was on the video. It was Sorry Miss Jackson. Yeah. Shout out to Outkast. And I was sitting there and I'm looking at these iceberg and Fat Farm shirts and things like that. And it's like, it gotta be more than this. And that's when I decided to go to real estate school and take off.
That's real.
Yeah.
So how important was it to you to make the decision like, I'm already getting money,
right?
But I'm finna go ahead and invest in this.
Yeah. It was a tough decision, and I definitely had some rough patches when I first got my real estate license. Even though I flip houses, I'm a full-time real estate agent, deal with tons of celebrities and things like that. But yeah.
That's real spill.
Right.
So how frustrating would you say it was transitioning from the streets to legitimate businesses?
It was tough. When I left Indianapolis, I had a lot of money, cars and all that. And it was just like, oh, I forgot I got the beauty shop. I bought a beauty shop that just was a terrible move. And it's kind of like, it just went downhill. I didn't hardly know anybody in Kentucky. So it was rough there for a minute. But you know, I came out of it and we did all right. So it was a tough transition though.
Real spill.
Yeah, especially when you used to having Benzes and Lexuses and all those fine things, and then you go all the way down. I can remember I used to work at when I went down one time, my last time I went down, I was working at Odessa Car Auctions, washing cars and detailing cars. So you can imagine going from brick dude, jewelry, cars, and then to got all the money, lose all the money, and you can't do nothing. You don't know nobody, so you got to just go get a regular job detailing cars. So I used to wake up in the morning and look in the mirror and be like, think about going back home. And you know, I used to speak to my guys sometimes, come on back, I got this for you, come on back, I got you. You know, and every time I would do that, my wife actually would call my mother like, hey, he been talking to them guys, he talking about coming home. Call him. And I'd be so pissed at her, but that kept me out of a lot of trouble. She kept me out of a lot of trouble when I was down and I wanted to go back to flipping bricks, you know, so yeah.
Real spill.
Right.
Tell us about your first successful closing.
Wow, first successful closing. It wasn't in the beginning. I think I had my real estate license, but I don't think I closed a deal for a year or two. Because I actually was into something called broker price opinions. You just needed your real estate license to do it. And really you did nothing but any major bank, when it's a foreclosure or people trying to refinance their house, they gotta know how much the house is worth. So they would pay me to tell them that, and I put them together something, send it to them, and they was paying me like $100 a pop. And I was doing maybe 100 of those a month constantly. So it was like I was making crazy money. I was making six figures doing that, and I hadn't sold a house. And that's something that Elizabeth Johnson, the same lady got me in real estate, she taught me that from day one. You know what I'm saying? And then when I was just doing that and wasn't selling a lot of houses, she was like, come on now, this is just an appetizer. You're really supposed to be selling houses. This is just extra. And she banged that in my head for years, and then finally it kind of just, I got sick and burnt out of doing these broker price opinions. So then I started, you know, selling houses, and it kind of started there.
Who was your first celebrity client?
First celebrity client, Premodonna. Premodonna, you know, she cooks and she has cookbooks and she does cookware now. So I would say she was my first celebrity. She was referred to me from Coach K, right? So I sold her a house, put it on Instagram, and I can still remember the day I closed. This was my first celebrity client. So I can still remember when I closed, and I think we were going to dinner or something at Hal's maybe. And Coach K called me. He's like, hey, have you looked at your social media? He was like, Premodonna just posted you. Like, so you should go up. And it was like, okay, cool, whatever. We went out to dinner. The next day we went shopping at the mall. And it was crazy. My Instagram just started, thousands of people just started. It was crazy because I was private. I had to open it up. I couldn't check all those people. So that's where, it was amazing. I was like, look, babe, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000. So anyway, her and Buck. Buck is actually QCP, that's his younger brother. So they were together. I sold them the home. Beautiful home.
That's real.
Yeah, so that was my first celebrity, but I've sold tons since then. You know, I think my next celebrity client it might have been Coach K. So Coach K, I know you heard of ATL Jacob. He's hot right now. Huge.
Shout out ATL Jacob. Man.
Shout out to ATL Jacob and the whole Wicked Money family. They just got a big deal. My guy Aaron Golder, y'all doing big things. But ATL Jacob, another big producer, Go Grizz. I mean, he's a big crossover producer. Sold homes, of course, Safari. Safari and Erica Mena when she was around. Who else have I sold homes to?
My boy Poverty.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been so many. QC over there, I took care of Simone. I took care of Twin. I'm working with some heavy hitters right now. I won't even say the names, but just be on the lookout in the next couple of weeks for some huge, I mean, super huge names I'm working with now. I already got them locked in, so God is good.
For sure.
Right.
So
one more person. I
up?
gotta plug my guy.
What's going?
My guy, Young Jock.
Okay, shout out
And
to
Kendra.
Okay.
And Kendra, that's my attorney. You know what I mean? Gotta plug Young Jock. I've been with him since the beginning. He was one of the first celebs that gave me an opportunity as well. And we're really good friends. His wife is actually in my book, The Art of Flipping Bricks. That's my chosen closing attorney. But Young Jock, I can't say enough about him. He really has helped me along the way. And I actually got him and Kendra their first place and their last place, and we'll continue to do things. That's my guy.
Real spill.
Yeah, shout out to him and the whole morning show. Yeah.
So being that you come from the streets,
Yeah.
it's easy to see how you were able to, like you said, shift like the culture in real estate in the room.
Right.
You know what I mean? You
Right.
add sauce to it because they green really.
Really.
So it's like
They really are. But hey, it's all good.
real shit.
Yeah.
But how do you feel they were receptive to you or receiving to you, my bad, once you know what I'm saying?
I think a lot of them was in the closet in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't coming out. They was just kind of looking. And then like, it just happened overnight. I started just getting DMs, just different stuff. Man, I love you, man. You the flyest agent I know, or you do great work. I see you close this person. They just started loving me, and I reciprocated the love, and you know, everything is in divine order. So they started loving me at the right time, you know, and I give a lot of game. So anybody got anything bad to say about me, like they just a hater, because I've helped so many people in real estate. I've literally changed lives. I've changed dope boy lives. You know what I'm saying? I've changed lives to people who had great careers at, you know, huge companies. You know, I won't even say the companies, but they literally left their great job, and, you know, I took them under my wing, and now they're doing hundreds of thousands of dollars. They're living off of it. Family members, Real Estate Blondie, her brother, I drug him into the business. He's now flipping houses. I got to give a shout out to my guy, Rod Williams. He's in one of the hugest real estate companies in the world, and he's like in the top 1%. I put him in the game, you know what I mean? And he always give me my flowers. I love that guy, you know what I mean? And it's other people, because he has tons of people working for him. So it's like, I'm like a tree with a branch. So I put this guy in the game, put this guy in the game. They put these people in the game. But it's all the trickle down effect, you know, trickle down effect. And that's how I think I get a lot of my blessings, because I really be changing people's lives, you know, so, and that's what I'm here to do.
That's the art of flipping bricks.
That's the art of flipping bricks.
So the art of flipping bricks, how did we get to the book, man?
Well, actually what happened is a close friend of mine, Safari, had actually referred him, because Clarence had planned on moving down here, big book guy, across the board, media, huge. So anyway, he was looking for a house, and so we started talking, and you know, Safari kind of told him who I was, and then he kind of looked at my social media. He knew a few people where I was from, and he was like, hey man, you need to do a book. And I was like, I'm not an avid reader like that, and the people I would want to touch, maybe I don't know if they're going to pick up the book like that, which they did. That was a blessing. I mean, the book went through the roof. It was #1 bestseller. But the thing I definitely have to say is, and I have to thank my guy, Clarence, so much. I don't know anybody that has a book in Walmart. I don't. So to be young, black, ex-dope dealer, turned businessman, turned real estate, writes this book. He's not an avid reader, and he gets to places that most people want to be in Walmart. I'm at Walmart.com. The Art of Flipping Bricks. It's there. Google it. I'm there. This is real. So that was crazy. And I'm in Books A Million, and you know, everybody's on Amazon, but I'm at Books A Million, and what's the other one?
Books A Million, Amazon.
The book company.
Barnes and Noble.
Barnes and Noble's me. Doug the Plug and Barnes and Nobles. So, I mean, like, the book has been great. I will always thank my guy Clarence McNair for putting me in position, and he really pushed the hell out of me to the point I was mad at him at some times, but just like I know he telling me to do the right thing. So he pushed me through the book, and we got many more things to come too. Definitely want to right there plug the audio book. I know I keep talking about I'm not an avid reader. The people I'm trying to touch, a lot of them are not avid readers. I'm trying to touch the drug dealers. I'm trying to touch the girls that dance and don't know what to do with their money. I'm trying to touch those folks, their grandmama died, their uncle died, they got $50,000 and they don't know what to do with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to touch them people who ain't seen people like me do this.
In successful positions.
So if you look at me and you look like me, you like, he might be the real deal. Let me go on and pick his book up. My book is anywhere from 10 to 20 bucks. So you getting $1 million worth of game for $10 or $20 for real, you know, and I broke it down in layman's term with the audio book. That'll be coming right before Christmas. I definitely want to have that ready for the holidays because those will be great stocking stuffers and great gifts. But I just feel like God tells me I'm the chosen one to come back and help all those people I just talked about get to the next level. So that's why I did the book. I'm doing the audio because a lot of those people don't read, but guess what? They get in their car and do what they do. They can cut it on. It got light music in it. I mean, it's going to be super, super dope. I got Kendra Robinson on there, attorney. I got Virgil Gordon. If you closed $1 million house in Atlanta, you probably know him. He's a huge lender. I got my credit lady, Tia, which is actually married to Go Grizzly, the big producer. She's my credit person. She's in the book. I'm in the book. Coach K's in the book. Real Estate Blondie is in the book.
Hey.
You know, she handles all the property management. She's also in real estate. She's like my right hand, not man, but she's my right hand lady. If I didn't have her, I don't know where I would be, because a lot of the stuff I'm just telling her to do. Hey babe, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. And she just does it at the same time, loving me, cooking for me, and we've been together for over 20, married for over 20 years, you know, so that's a big testament to her to be able to put up with my ass for that long. So I just had to plug that in. She's beautiful.
Thank you.
I love her, and that's one of the reasons my business runs so good, because she helps me, yeah.
Talk about the importance of having a solid support system.
Oh, it's very important, because like once you get popping in this business, you can't do it all yourself. You know, one of the great guys I got in the business, he's doing hella good. Rod Williams, he's a systems guy, so I'm always messing with him about, he got systems for everything. So if you don't got systems in place, you definitely need a support system, but that is a support system, but you gotta have them systems in place or you'll start losing deals. Like, I still lose some deals because I can't get to all the people on my social media back page. Like, I can't get to all of them, you know? And another thing I wanted to say to you guys out there that's DMing me, I lose most of the people who want help from me from the time they say, hey, I want to be in the business, I want to make this big money, I want to do. Okay, whatever state you're in, I want you to go to online and Google the real estate school, figure out when you got time to go, how much it's going to cost, and call me back. Never hear from them again. So that's my thing. That's how I get rid of a lot of the, you know, they never, after I tell them to go give me that information, I lose them. You know, those that do listen, they literally, hey, I got my license. Hey, I'm doing good. Hey, I'm doing this. And I'm like a proud dad when they do that. You know what I'm saying? Proud big uncle, or whatever you want to call it, but I be proud. Yes.
Yes, yeah.
Right.
Why do you feel it's important for you to reach out and touch the dope dealers and the dancers and the people who don't know exactly what to do with their money?
Because I think those same people see guys, you know, on TV, and they don't look like them, right? But I look like them, and I'm doing the same thing, and I've broken it down. So I just feel like it's my responsibility. Like, God blessed me so much, I be hearing his voice like, hey, all right, I blessed you here, I blessed you this, you got to get back. You got to get back, and if I don't get back, then it's going to stop. So I don't want it to stop. So I'm always going to be trying to give people the knowledge and where to go to get stuff. It's crazy. I've been in the business over 20 years, and this is not work for me. Like, I could do this till I'm 90, so people say, when you gonna retire? And when I'm not breathing, like, this is what I do. So it's like, I sell real estate, I build homes, I flip homes, property management, it's just so many different ways you can go in real estate. And I also wanted to touch on this. A lot of people that be talking, they say that, you don't have to have your real estate license to start flipping houses. Don't worry about that and this and that. It makes it harder. Let me throw that out the window now. I'm gonna give you an example. So, me, myself, we have a company. We got an LLC, right? So when we go to buy properties, like, I'm also an agent. So if we buying properties to flip, like, I make money as the agent. Right? So if I'm buying a $100,000 house, right? $3,000 ain't a lot, but guess what? When I close that deal, that's $3,000 to me, right? And my LLC still bought it, right? So I don't know who would, that's the smallest you're gonna make, like $3,000 on one deal. So who don't wanna make that extra $3,000? Like, cause they don't wanna go take 3 months and get their real estate license. So y'all stop listening to them. Go get your license, you can double up. And that's real.
That's real, man.
Yeah.
Why do you feel it's so important for you to give back to the youth?
Okay, so I got to give back to the youth because I feel
what's some advice you got for the youth?
What advice I got for the youth? The advice that I got for the youth is to, and this might sound redundant or cliche, but I really want y'all to go check this book out because it's going to lay it all out. But why I want to touch the youth, because I don't want to see the next young kid, like youngster, do 20 years because they trying to make the money that they can make doing this. I don't want to see that dancer when she's finished. It's nothing wrong with dancing. It's a job, it's an art. But when they ready to settle down, this is something that they could do. You know what I'm saying? Those people, like, I just feel like you got to touch the youth or we just going to keep going the same way. Like, I'm just trying to change a whole generation. It's all about generational wealth, but I really want to change the whole culture. All these guys rapping, they ought to at least be flipping one house. At least. I don't care if you're a doctor, attorney, and I know we're not talking about the youth anymore, but the youth need to do it so they can get their bag. You know what I'm saying? And they can work for themselves and provide for their family. You know what I'm saying? If you're a good real estate agent, you can make 6 figures. And you're not working 12 hours a day or none of that. But I just think that everybody should just try to book out. Because I just want y'all to, I don't care what y'all doing. You can still be flipping one house at a time. Typically on the low end, you might make $30,000 on the flip on the low end. You can make more. So let's just say you do 2 flips a year, even you. Like, you got this.
Oh yeah, we definitely gonna talk
okay,
about
so
this.
so you got this huge thing going on off the porch. All the people is watching. The youth is watching you. You know what I'm saying? Just think if you just cut some time and go to you flipping the houses and you show them a check of how much you made. You got to put it in these youngsters' face. That's one of the reasons why I project myself how I do. Because I know what draws them in. I always tell my people,
they don't believe until
you got to put it in their face so they can see it. That ain't everybody's thing, but it's my thing. But like I say, even you, let's say you do 2 houses a year and you make $60,000. That's $60,000 in addition to what you already was making. So you attorney, you're already making this money, you flipping over here, you did 2 houses, you made $60,000. I don't know nobody who can't do a lot with $60,000. That's just like icing on the cake. I got the icing on the cake. Yeah.
Real. So besides real estate, what else you working on and how you preparing for the new year?
Preparing for the new year, I told Real Estate Blondie that I want to buy some apartments. So that's what I got going on for 2023. Like, really I buy houses, but I'm always selling them. You know what I mean? And I just want to get some apartments. I want them to be nice. I want older people in there, and I just want them to come there and never leave. So I'm going to keep it real nice, and that's my goal for 2023. Another one of my goals is for my book to do well. And my audio book, most of all. This audio book is just gonna be crazy. So, it's gonna be available on Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon, and all other platforms. You gotta check it out. It's going to be a great listen. It's already a great read. So I'm just going to keep pushing that. I may come with the art of flipping bricks too. I might do a book about me building these $1 million homes. I already got it titled. The title is crazy. Shout out to Clarence. He's going to be working with me on that too. What else we got going on, babe?
I would say just really building a brand.
Building a brand.
Because it's like we're out there, people recognize us, they know what we're doing, but just really building a brand so that we become like a household name. And with me having 20 plus years in education, to piggyback up on the question about youth, it's very important that the youth have a plan. Nowadays, when I was in the regular classroom, we would always ask students, especially when I taught at the high school level, what college do you plan to go to? But it's not necessarily college, because nowadays everyone doesn't have to go to college. So that's why I think the art of flipping bricks and what Doug is doing is so important, because school isn't for everyone. So you might want to go a different path, and going into real estate is a good path and it's very lucrative. Or some people still want to go to school and get a degree and still go into education. So just once again in 2023, it's like take off. Full speed, becoming a brand. Everyone will know us. We already go places and, people recognize him. So just really kind of getting out there and supporting people in any way we can.
Well, they recognize you too, because they always be like, where's your wife at? There's Real Estate Blondie. It's funny because this book has taken me, when I first started writing the book, Clarence told me, it's not totally all about the money that you're gonna make off this book. It's about people seeing you and you be able to talk to people about what's going on. And in the beginning, I was like, I wanna make some money off this book too. But now, I get it. Like now, just like we go to Falcons games and we walking down the corridor, hey, aren't you I Am Real Estate One? And I said, oh, I follow you. We were just last night, we were at Phipps. We was in, I think, Dolce & Gabbana, and we sitting there talking, and the lady finally looks up and she was like, I follow you, I love what you're doing, da 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 da. So we got to talking, and I was like, oh, okay, where are you from? She was like, I'm from Indianapolis. And it was like, wow. She's from my hometown in Atlanta, but I just happened to bump into her. So Hawks games, we go to college football games, and these kids and grown people, they know me, so I'm getting out there, and I'm getting out there, because it used to be about the bad thing, like, oh, that's this guy, but now it's all about my book, and I stand behind it 100%. It's crazy. I can still remember when I dropped the first post on it, and I went to sleep, and I woke up in the morning, and all my people from the real estate world, they was reposting, and they had dances going on. Shout out to Ashton and all his friends. That's my guy. I love him to death, but he got with some of the most known people in the industry, and they just put this post out, and it was like, wow, and everybody started posting, and the book just took off. So it was crazy when I got my first check for the book, my first publishing check, a royalty check. And I didn't open the check, I don't think, for a long time.
Like over a month.
I didn't open it. I was like, whatever. So anyway, I end up opening it up, and I could still remember going to the bank, and I was just like, it was kind of a moment. I was like, damn, like, you really wrote a book. You really making money off a book. You really don't even read like that. So, that inspired me to do the audio book. Because I want people to listen to it, I mean, like, these y'all dope boys, like, y'all out there making that money. Let me show you how to do the crossover. I'm crossing over people now. Like, I'm changing lives right now. And it'd be tough for them in the beginning, because it'd be like, they used to that fast money. And I'd be like, no, like, this is the way. It don't go that fast. You know what I'm saying? We move in 60, 90-day increments, and with the market being a little slower now, maybe a little slower than that, but I know how to put houses together to make people buy them. So my slogan be, I give people champagne with beer money on my flips. So you might go in some of my flips, they might be in the hood in Riverdale, but I'm still giving them the quartz countertops. I'm still giving them the beautiful hardwood flooring and stuff, but I bought it at the right price where I can give them that, so that when I put houses on the market, it's a frenzy. I love frenzies. So it's a frenzy. So I do all my houses pretty much the same. If you follow me, they know. I paint them white, put black roofs on them, details in black. It looks so modern and nice. And then when I come back with the quartz and the marble and the new appliances and stuff, it's been very lucrative for me. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, God.
Real spill.
Right.
Any last words and shout outs?
I want to give a big shout out to Clarence McNair. I want to give a big shout out to all the people that helped me put this book out, The Art of Flipping Bricks. I want to do a big shout out to my grandkids. They would kill me. My granddaughter would kill me. So shout out to Dre Sean, shout out to London, shout out to Denham. I hope I see you soon, Denham. I want to shout out the whole Rose family in Indianapolis. I want to shout out the Parson family in Indianapolis, the Berries in Indianapolis, the Comans. Y'all rest in peace. That was the people who died on the duck boat. It was 9 of them. My family members had died at one time, and those are actually my angels now, and they push me through. Literally, I hear them talking to me, so got to give a shout out to them. Rest in peace. My mama, Pistol Pat. Check your boy out. I'm sitting on the porch. Who you got, babe? Who you want to send a shout out to?
Same people. Then also, of course, my mother. Shout out to her. My brother Yuri, that's in real estate.
Yuri Lee.
Yuri Lee. All my sisters. My sons. I want to give a shout out to my husband actually because he is doing the doggone thing.
Thank you,
Proud of
babe.
him.
Yeah, so let me just I have 5 boys too. I want to shout them out. First one I want to shout out is my son that's not with us anymore. This is another reason why I wrote the book. You know, he got caught up in the street life, you know, and got in a bad situation. He's no longer here with us. Rest in peace, Deshaun Parson. Shout out to my oldest boy, Desmond. Then I got Doug. Then I got Drazen. That's my guy. And then they all my guys. And then we got Diallo. You know, one thing I'm proud of is, you know, like I say, I'm just this D-boy from the country. Home of the Ku Klux Klan is where I'm from, Indianapolis. But my son, he got his mechanical engineering degree. My wife got a PhD. I'm doing my thing. I got another son. He in college right now. He's a junior. He played football. But I said all that for inspiration. Like, I come from selling bricks, you know, selling dope in the streets, all that. And it's certain things that traject your life in a certain way. And I'm here and I'm the face to say, you can come from flipping bricks. You can come from selling dope or what they selling pills now. Whatever you selling, like at some point you got to cross it over. I'm here to try to help you cross over. God has put it on me. So all I can say is hit me in the DM. My social media, I am Real Estate One.
Real Estate with Blondie.
Also, I want to give you my Facebook, Douglas Parson. I also have what's my page?
A TikTok.
TikTok, just look me up. I am Real Estate One, but what's the other one? I got a whole channel. Maybe it's on YouTube. Digs with Doug. That's my show. Go check it out. You'll see some of the finest luxury in Atlanta, Georgia. It's crazy. Y'all go check that out. And get the book. And also, more than anything, get the audio. The audio is dropping on about 3 or 4 days before Christmas. So just stay tuned. But this is going to be the biggest drop ever in the book. Ever. We're going platinum. Platinum.
Platinum on the book.
Yeah, we're going platinum on the book. Platinum on the audio book. Now, I don't know no other agent that did that, but I did it. You know, and I am the first super duper luxury agent just jumping off the porch. I just want y'all to know that. Holla back. Let's go.
All white bricks.